Hello students. Today in this video we will discuss about the structure of one of the most important sense organ, the ear. As we all know that the hearing process is related to the structure of the ear. But as we have discussed into the structure of the central nervous system, into the structure of the cerebrum, that into the cerebrum, as there are the different functional lobes are present, in which there is the presence of the auditory area is present, which is related to the temporal lobe of the cerebrum, which is involved into the functioning of the auditory, that is the functioning of the hearing. So let us we discuss about to the structure of the ear. As we know that the ear, a pair of ear are present which are located in the region or in the area of the skull bone, which is called as the temporal bone. So in the temporal bone there is a cavity is present in which there is the structure of the ear is located. Into the structure of the ear, there are the three parts of the ear are present. Or basically structure of the ear is differentiated in three different parts. The first part or the structure which is present exteriorly. That structure is called as an external ear, or in a common language we call as a pinna, or it is also called as the ear auricle. So this is the structure of the external ear, or this is the structure of the pinna as I have denoted here into this figure. Then there is the middle part of the ear is present, which is called as the middle ear. As its location is present, it is called as the middle ear. This is the structure of the middle ear, and this is the structure of the internal ear is present. During embryonic development, basically there are the external and the internal ear are developed from the ectoderm, one of the germ layer. But the structure of this middle ear, this is the structure of the middle ear is present, in which there are three ear ossicles which represent the smallest bone inside our body are present into the middle ear. And this middle ear is basically developed from the mesoderm, germ layer, mesoderm, from which there is the middle ear get developed. So this is related to according to the development. Then into the structure of the external ear, middle ear and the internal ear, there are the different parts or the different organs are present, which we will discuss here in detail. So initially we will discuss about to the structure of the external ear. So this is the structure of the external ear, which is made up of from the cartilage. So this structure of the external ear is made up of from the cartilage. This is the cartilaginous structure, and basically which involve into the collecting of the sound waves from the external environmental condition. So this is the main function of the external ear or the pinna, which basically represent the structure made up of from the cartilage, and basically it is made up of from the elastic cartilage. So in the external ear, there is the one external acoustic meatus is present. In the pinna, there is the external acoustic meatus is present. This external acoustic meatus means the openings which basically continue one of the canal which is slightly S-shaped canal is present. And this canal is called as external auditory canal. So the function of this external auditory canal is to carry the sound waves up to the next structure which is present in the structure of the ear, which is related to the mechanism of the hearing. So this slightly S, this is the look like the letter S, S-shaped external auditory canal which start from the external acoustic meatus and which is ends into the structure which is called as the tympanic membrane, or generally it is called as eardrum. Generally we call as the eardrum. So into the structure of the external ear, externally there is the presence of pinna which basically collect the sound waves, and after collecting the sound waves, that sound waves are carried up to the middle ear through this external auditory canal. In the structure of the external ear or the ear auricle, or which is also called as the pinna, and in the external auditory canal, there is presence of the hair cells, and also there is the presence of the modified sweat glands or the ceruminous glands are present. This is also important according to point of examination, that the ceruminous glands are present into the external auditory canal, and which is their secretion and the trapped dust particles which basically form this structure which is generally we called as ear wax, or generally it is called as the cerumen. So this structure, hair cells and these ceruminous glands are related to the external ear and external auditory canal, which basically related to conduction of the sound waves which is collected by the external ear from the surrounding environmental condition. Then there is the one of the important structure is present which is called as the tympanic membrane. So here in the figure, this dark reddish part is basically called as the eardrum, or it is called as the tympanic membrane, which basically separates the external ear from this middle ear. And as this tympanic membrane or the eardrum is made up of from the connective tissue, in which the outer side of this tympanic membrane is related to skin, or it is made up of from the skin. The outer surface of the eardrum which lie towards this external auditory canal, which is the part of the external ear. This basically consists of skin, and this inner surface of the tympanic membrane which basically communicates with this middle ear. This is the portion of the middle ear, and this surface which basically lies towards the middle ear, which is made up of from the mucous membrane. Then the function of the tympanic membrane is that as the sound waves are collected and carried through the external auditory canal, which basically reach up to the tympanic membrane. there are the vibrations are developed into the tympanic membrane or into the eardrum. The sound waves now get converted into the vibrations. As there are the vibrations takes place into the eardrum, and inner surface of the tympanic membrane, which basically communicates with the middle ear. And I just mentioned that in the middle ear there are the 3 ear ossicles are present, which are the bony structure, small bony structure is present, in which first ear ossicle is called as the malleus. So this is the malleus is present, which is the first ear ossicle, which basically connects or rests on the inner surface of the tympanic membrane. So here from the tympanic membrane, the vibrations are reached up to the malleus, which is one of the ear ossicle present into the middle ear. Then we will discuss about the structure of the middle ear. As we know that, or its name suggests, middle ear means which is basically present into the middle in position. Outside to that there is the presence of this structure, external ear, and inside to that there is the structure is present, which is called as the internal ear. So middle ear communicates with both external ear and with the internal ear. Into the middle ear there are the presence of the 3 ear ossicles, which are basically present in sequence. The outermost ear ossicle is called as the malleus. Then middle one, which is called as the incus, and the innermost ear ossicle, which is called as the stapes. So malleus, incus and stapes, these are the 3 ear ossicles, out of which the outermost ear ossicle, that is the malleus, which basically rests on the inner surface of the eardrum. So it communicates with the external ear as vibrations of the sound are reached up to this malleus. Then from the innermost ear ossicle, I have shown here in the figure, this is the first ear ossicle, which is called as the malleus. Then here there is the second ear ossicle, which is called as the incus, and here there is the third ear ossicle, which is called as the stapes. So this is the first, this is the second, and this is the third. These 3 ear ossicles form a chain, in which these ear ossicles are present in a sequence as a malleus, incus and stapes, which are the smallest bone in our body. These stapes, which basically communicates with the internal ear through the oval window of the cochlea. As the stapes, this is related to the oval window, the structure which I have shown here in the figure, the structure which is called as the oval window. So this is the structure of the oval window, which is the part of the cochlea, and as this stapes is communicate or opens into the internal ear of the oval window, which is the basal part of the cochlea is present. So these 3 ear ossicles, which are basically developed from the mesoderm during embryonic life, are present in a chain, and thus there is the transfer of the vibrations from external ear to the internal ear takes place because of to this chain of the ear ossicle. This is one of the most important structure present into the middle ear. Then again in the middle ear there is also present of one of the important structure which I have labeled here, which is called as the eustachian tube. This eustachian tube, which basically start from the middle ear and which opens into the pharynx. Thus, eustachian tube as opens into the pharynx means the ear is having the connection with the throat, and which basically help in maintaining the pressure on both sides. That's why this is the most important structure which communicate the ear with a throat or with a pharynx and help into maintaining the pressure. So this is also the most important part of the middle ear is present. Then after middle ear there is the internal ear is present, and in the internal ear there are the two important structures are present. The one of the structure which is present into the internal ear, the structure is called as the vestibule. And one of the internal ear structure which is also most important, which is called as the cochlea. Vestibule and cochlea. These two important structures are present into the internal ear, which is having the important function. The cochlea is related to the hearing apparatus. Hearing apparatus means the mechanism of the hearing is because of to the structure present in the cochlea, present in internal ear. And then vestibule is related to important structure which is called as the semicircular canal and otolith organ. Semicircular canal and otolith organ. So, in the vestibule, these two structures are important to maintaining equilibrium of our body or to maintaining the posture of our body. And that's why these two functions, listen, this is the most important part, because these two functions we have discussed under the heading of the external receptors. Means in these two organs there are the specialized cells are present which basically receive the external stimuli and it convert into the impulse, and further this impulse is carried up to the central nervous system, in which there are the specific areas are present which are related to interpret this sensory impulse. As we have seen that the statoreceptors are present in the structure of the vestibule. Statoreceptor and the phonoreceptor are present into the structure of the cochlea. So the cochlea as related to the phonoreceptor means phonoreceptors are located in it in the form of the hair cells, which is related to the mechanism of the hearing. And in the structure of the vestibule, there is the presence of the three semicircular canals and otolith organ called as sacculus and utriculus. Sacculus and utriculus are two otolith organs which are concerned with statoreceptors. As here also there are the specific receptor cells are present which are related to the maintaining equilibrium or our body posture. So this is the most important part related to the internal ear. And as from the internal ear means from the structure of the vestibule and cochlea, there is the nerve get formed which is called as the auditory nerve and which carry this sensory impulse up to the central nervous system. And as we know that into the central nervous system, there is the auditory area is present into the temporal lobe and which is related to the mechanism of the hearing. So this sense organ which is related to the auditory nerve which we have seen into the 12 pair of the cranial nerve, which is one of the sensory nerve is present, and in which as vestibule and cochlea, these two important organs are present which is related to the maintaining equilibrium and hearing process respectively. So auditory nerve is also called as vestibulocochlear nerve, which is purely sensory in nature, means which is related to carry only sensory impulse from external environmental condition up to the central nervous system. So here now we will discuss about the structure of the internal ear and about to the structure of this vestibule and cochlea. In the structure of the internal ear, as the structure is located or situated in a bony cavity, that structure which is basically called as labyrinth. The structure which is called as the labyrinth. This is basically maze-like structure is present. Means a complicated path is present. Complicated path maze, or which is called as the labyrinth. This path is located within the bony cavity. So the outermost part is called as the bony labyrinth, as it is present outer side just close to the bony part. So it is called as the bony labyrinth. And inner to which the structure is present, which is called as the membranous labyrinth. Bony labyrinth which form basically the channels into the bony part, and inside to that bony labyrinth there is a presence of the path which is formed by the connective tissue structure, which is called as the membranous labyrinth, in which there is a cavity is present and that cavity is filled with the fluid. So labyrinth or the channels are present in which there is the cavity is present, or fluid filled cavities are called as the labyrinth. The outer part which is close to the bone, that's why it is called as the bony labyrinth. And inner to it, there is the part is present which is basically formed by the membranous structure, and that's why it is called as the membranous labyrinth. The fluid which is present into the membranous labyrinth, it is called as the endolymph, and the fluid which is present into the bony labyrinth, which is basically called as the perilymph. As its name suggests, perilymph means present at the peripheral side, and the fluid which is present in the inner side, which is called as the membranous labyrinth. And so this internal structure which a fluid filled spaces is present, which is called as the labyrinth, and in which there is the presence of these two important organs are present, in which one organ is called as the cochlea, and the another structure or the another important organ which is called as the vestibule, in which there is the semicircular canal and otolith organs are present. So we will discuss here first about to the vestibule. In the structure of the vestibule, as in the figure, we have shown that here three semicircular canals are present. So these three semicircular canals, which are basically present into the perilymph. This structure which is basically present into the perilymph, which basically lies in different plane. These three canals, if this is the one canal is present, then there is the in another plane there is the another canal is present, and in another plane is the another canal is present. Thus there are these three canals are present, but they lie at a right angle in position to each other, perpendicular in position to each other, but in different plane. So as this semicircular canal means like this, suppose here I draw one of the semicircular canal. If this is the one of the semicircular canal is present, this is the one of the semicircular canal is present, which is also having the presence of the fluid which is called as the perilymph. At the base of this semicircular canal, there is at the base of this semicircular canal, there is the presence of the Solan structure is present. This structure, Solan structure is present at the base of this semicircular canal, which is called as the macula. And in this structure, in the middle, there is the crest is present. This is the crest is present. And this crest, which is basically called as the crista ampullaris. The structure which is called as the crista ampullaris. So this structure is present, which is called as the crista ampullaris. Like to this structure, into this Solan structure, in which there is the prominent ridge is present, like crest, there is the ridge is present in the center. That's why it is called as the crista ampullaris. Similar to this ridge, as this ridge is present, which is called as the crista ampullaris. Similar to this, there is also the crest is present in otolith organ called as the sacculus and utriculus, which together contain in this sacculus and utriculus, which are two otolith organ, in which also the prominent ridge or the crest is present, and into the semicircular canal. At the base of the semicircular canal, there is also the presence of the solemn structure containing the crest, which is called as the crista ampullaris. And in this part, there is the presence of the hair cells, means the receptors are present, which are related to maintaining our body posture or related to maintaining the equilibrium of our body. So this is the main structure which is basically included into this structure, vestibule. In this structure of the vestibule, 3 semicircular canals are present, which are basically embedded into this structure called as the perilymph. And presence of these two otolith organ, these two are the otolith organs are present, in which in semicircular canal at the base there is the presence of the prominent ridge in the solemn structure, and in otolith organs sacculus and utriculus there is also the crest or the prominent ridge is present, and together consist of the receptors called as the statoreceptors, which do the important function as to maintain equilibrium of our body. So this is the main structure of the vestibule is present, which is related to the maintaining body posture. Now we will discuss about to the structure of the cochlea, which is related to the process of hearing. This figure shows the cross section of the cochlea. As we have seen into the figure of the external middle and the internal ear, that the structure of the cochlea is a coiled structure is present. This is the coiled structure is present. And this coiled structure, how look in their cross section. So this is the cross section of the cochlea, which is basically involved into the mechanism of the hearing. In the cross section of the cochlea, as we have seen that the fluid filled cavity present into the internal ear, which is called as the labyrinth. Outer one called as the bony, and the inner to it is called as the membranous labyrinth, which consists of the perilymph and the endolymph respectively. So because of to this important membranes, the basilar membrane, here I have drawn this basilar membrane. So because of to this basilar membrane, and second one because of to this Reissner's membrane. This is the basilar membrane is present, and this is the Reissner's membrane is present. Because of to these two membranes, the structure of the cochlea, which basically consists of the two divisions or the two parts containing cavity. The upper part of the cochlea, which basically lies into the bony labyrinth, which is called as the scala vestibuli. And as it is present into the outer structure, outer part, or in the bony labyrinth, it consists of the fluid perilymph. So, in scala vestibuli, there is the perilymph is present. The lower part, because of to these two membranes, racemous and basilar membrane, the lower portion of the cavity, which is also containing perilymph, which called as the scala tympani. And in between these two larger cavities, scala vestibuli and the scala tympani, there is the middle small cavity is also present, which basically the portion of the cochlea which lies into the membranous labyrinth, so which consists of the fluid called as endolymph, and this small cavity is called as the scala media. So this scala vestibuli, which encloses a perilymph, which basically communicates with internal ear through the oval window, which is present at the base of cochlea. And this scala tympani, which is enclosing the perilymph, which communicates with the middle ear through the round window, which is present just below to the oval window. So these two important structures are present, in which the scala vestibuli is related to the oval window and scala tympani is related to the round window. These are the two important structures or two important cavities containing perilymph, which are formed because of to the racemous and basilar membrane. Then here there is the portion or above to the basilar membrane. There is the one important structure is present, or I have given here the name, which is called as the organ of Corti, and this organ of Corti is also called as hearing apparatus. This is also called as hearing apparatus. So what is meant by the hearing apparatus, or how does exactly the structure and function of this organ of Corti is present? So just we will look or discuss about to this structure. Above the basilar membrane, there is presence of the row of hair cells or the columnar cells are present, which basically having the cilia at their apical end. So these are also called as the hair cells. So these cells commonly called as the hair cells. And these hair cells means these consist of the receptors, that is the phonoreceptors. As the vibrations of the sound waves are reached up to this organ of Corti, means up to this row of hair cells, which is just located above the basilar membrane. Means if this is the hair cell is present, hair cell, that is the columnar cell is present, Here there is the basement membrane is present. In the columnar cell there is the basal nuclei is also present. This is the basal end of the hair cell and this is the presence of the apical end of the hair cells. And we know that into the ciliated columnar epithelium, cilia are present at the apical end of the cells, epithelial cells. So in these hair cells, the basal end which rests on this basement membrane, basilar membrane, and the apical end which basically project upward, projecting the hairs or the hair cells or the cilia are present. As the vibrations of the sound reach to the organ of Cartile, means up to the hair cells, there is the bending movement is present of the hair cell in one direction. So as the sound vibrations reach up to these columnar cells or hair cells, the hair cells get bends. And due to the bending of the hair cells, the vibrations reach up to this afferent nerve, which is basically present opposite to this tectorial membrane. Because the apical end of these hair cells, which basically is in close in contact with this tectorial membrane. As there is the bending movement takes place, there is the movement into this tectorial membrane also takes place. And as this is in contact of this afferent nerve, these are the afferent nerve fibers. Nerve fibers. So, as bending movement of the hair cells takes place, movement in tectorial membrane takes place, which basically having close in contact with apical end of the hair cells. And tectorial, due to the movement of the tectorial membrane, there is the impulse get generated and carried up to the afferent nerve fiber. And from the afferent nerve fiber, there is the formation of the auditory nerve takes place. That is the vestibulocochlear nerve takes place, and which basically carry this sensory impulse up to the auditory area of the cerebrum, which is present into temporal lobe of the cerebrum. So, this is the most important structure of the cochlea, in which there is the hearing apparatus or organ of Corti located. So, this is the important structure of the cochlea, which is related to the hearing mechanism. And in a previous part, we have seen that into the structure of the vestibule, there is the presence of the three semicircular canals and otolith organ, sacculus and utriculus is present. At the base of the semicircular canal, there is a solemn structure is present, which is called as the ampullae, or the singular one which is called as the ampulla. And in the ampulla, in the middle portion, there is the crest is present, or a ridge is present, which is called as the crista ampullaris. Similarly, projecting ridge is also present in otolith organs, sacculus and utriculus, which is called as the macula. This macula and crista ampullaris together as consist of the statoreceptors, do functioning of maintaining equilibrium of our body. So here we have discussed about the structure of the vestibule and about to the structure of the cochlea. Now, here we have seen the structure of the ear. But how actually there is the mechanism of the hearing aid takes place, which we'll discuss now here. So in the mechanism of the hearing process, the steps basically involve, which are now we have discussed here, as first, whenever there are the sound waves which basically are collected into our external ear with the help of the pinna and external acoustic meatus. So let us we conclude about to this mechanism. So in this mechanism, first of all, the sound waves are collected through the pinna and external auditory meatus. Then these sound waves are conducted up to the tympanic membrane through external auditory canal, which is also the part of the external ear. So first of all, the functioning of the external ear is important. Then, as in which there is the presence of the tympanic membrane is present or the eardrum is present. As the sound waves reach to this eardrum, the vibrations are developed into this eardrum. And as we have seen that in this structure, the inner surface of the eardrum is in contact with the outermost ear ossicle called as the malleus of the middle ear. So the vibrations are received to the malleus, which is the part of the middle ear. Means here there is the functioning of the middle ear gets started. Here there is the functioning of the external ear, which is only collection and conduction of the sound waves up to the tympanic membrane. Then in the middle ear, as there is the chain of this ear ossicle is present, in which vibrations firstly are received by the outermost ear ossicle malleus, then get transferred to incus, and finally to the innermost ear ossicle, which is called as the steps. Then, as we have discussed in the chapter, in the structure of the ear, that the steps is communicated with internal ear through the oval window, which is basically present at the base of the cochlea. So now these vibrations are reached into the internal ear. Internal ear. As here we have discussed that into the internal ear, structure of the internal ear is nothing but it is the fluid filled spaces are present or the cavities are present. Some cavities are related to the bony part and some cavities are enclosed by the membrane in which there are the fluids are present. So vibrations are conducted or vibrations get developed into this fluid of the internal ear, perilymph and endolymph. Because of to the vibrations into the fluid, as we have seen that into the cross section of the cochlea, that basically because of to the presence of the basilar and the Reissner membrane, the cavity get divided into two major or the greater portion. The upper one, which is called as the scala vestibuli, which is communicated to oval window, and scala tympani, which is communicated with a round window. And so here there are the sound waves or the vibrations get reached when vibrations are reached up to this scala media, which is the middle portion is present, which is present into membranous labyrinth in which there is the endolymph is present. And here on the basilar membrane, there is the rows of the ciliated epithelial cells are commonly called as the hair cells are present, which consist of sensory receptors. So here vibrations are reached up to these hair cells. Hair cells are which we have just called as organ of Corti. When vibrations get created or reach up to the hair cells, because up to these vibrations, if this is the column is present of the hair cells and this is the cilia are present, basically vibrations are reached from this direction, and because up to the force of vibrations, the hair cells bend in this direction, and because up to this bending movement, as here in the figure we have discussed that near to the basilar membrane or near to the basal end of the hair cells, there presence of the afferent nerve fibers, and at the apical end of these hair cells where there is a cilia is present and which is in contact with this membrane, which is called as the tectorial membrane, and which is basically close in contact of these afferent nerve fibers. So as there is the bending movement takes place, there is the movement takes place into this tectorial membrane also, and due to which there is the impulse get generated, and this impulse is reached to these afferent nerve fibers. As we have seen into the method of conduction of the impulse, how external stimuli get converted into the impulse. So basically we already discussed in this chapter at another part that external stimuli now get converted into the impulse, that is the sensory impulse, which is first received by these afferent nerve fibers, and from these afferent nerve fibers this sensory impulse is carried through auditory nerve, that is vestibulocochlear nerve, up to the cerebrum. And as we know that in the cerebrum, in the temporal lobe of the cerebrum, there is the auditory area or hearing center is present, which basically receive this sensory impulse of sound through the auditory nerve. The final interpretation takes place in this auditory area, and recognition of the sound takes place. Means the final interpretation is basically get carried out into the auditory area of the cerebrum, which is basically related to the temporal lobe of the cerebrum. So in this way there is the mechanism of the conduction of the sound waves takes place, and the mechanism of the hearing takes place, and finally we can understand the sound which basically get carried from the external ear through the middle ear, and finally from the internal ear up to the temporal lobe of the cerebrum, and basically recognition of sound takes place finally. So this is related to the mechanism of the hearing process. So here we have concluded about to the ear as a sense organ, in which we have seen the structure of the ear, which is basically get differentiated in three different parts: external ear, middle ear and the internal ear. And the most important structure which is present into the internal ear, which basically related to the mechanism of the hearing, that is the cochlea, and mechanism to maintaining the equilibrium of the body into the vestibule. And finally, or in the last part, we have also discussed about to the conduction of the impulse, or about to the mechanism of the hearing process, how it takes place, and exactly what is the path of conduction of these sound waves. So here finally we have concluded all the major part of our ear. So in this way we have concluded the sense organs, important sense organs. We have concluded about to the structure, function of nervous system, and as the sense organs contains the receptors, and which is having the important role into the nervous system, as receptors are present in the sense organs, and sense organs are the first organs which receive the external stimuli and convert into the impulse, on which further processing takes place by the nervous system. And because of to the nervous system, we can know and we can control or we can coordinate about to the external environmental conditions. So normally or generally, the sense organs are called as windows of our brain, because the external stimuli is conducted up to the brain because of to the presence of the sense organs or the receptors which are present into the sense organ. But finally, the mechanism is related to the respective functional areas of the cerebrum, which finally gives interpretation. So, not full process or full function, like not all hearing process is related to the ear, but partially it is related to ear. But finally, the decision making process is related to the cerebrum, which is the most important part of the nervous system. So here we have concluded about to the nervous system, and we have concluded about to the control and coordination.